In this video, we'll talk about the law of forgiveness, healing mind, body, relationships, personal and professional life. Let's get started by using William's story as an example. William had been working in the bank for many years, hoping that one day he could be the bank manager. However, time and time again, younger men got promoted before he was offered anything. He began to resent everyone around him. He saw them as being favored above him. Things began to change after he accepted the realities that he had no control over. What William didn't realize was that the reason he wasn't promoted was because of his resentment and the way he treated people around him. He was perpetually unhappy and stressed out because he couldn't accept the fact that it was all his fault. He was being seen as someone with bitterness and anger. Within 2 years of forgiving, he was promoted as a bank manager. And it wasn't pure coincidence. When you see the whole spectrum of difficulties that are caused by jealousy, hate, greed, and negative thought, you also see that it's an obligation to yourself to step beyond negativity towards something more positive. While you might not believe in karma because this is something that's more associated with the Eastern world, you probably know the saying, "What goes around comes around," meaning that if you do something wrong, you'll always get your comeuppance in one way or another. That's where the power of the laws of forgiveness kick in. If you're able to forgive, it empowers you so much that everything seems so positive and you are able to go through life with a whole new viewpoint. We're all human beings. We all make mistakes. We all go through peaks and valleys. Life is never smooth sailing. However, when you learn to use the laws of forgiveness and make them part of the way you live, you will find happiness and the weight of burden will lighten and disappear. Earlier in this video course, I talked about William, and when he was asked about whether he believed in karma, he laughed. One of those laughs that is hard to forget. That comes from the heart. Had I asked the same question many years ago, he would have not have seen karma as being something that was valid. When he learned to let go, the karmic root of his life changed. You have the power within you to make that change in your life. Never underestimate the power of forgiveness. The law of forgiveness is all about getting things into the right perspective. If someone calls you names, do you see it as an insult? How about seeing that person as being in need of drawing attention to himself and feeling empathy rather than anger? If someone treads on your toe is quick to recover. However, the injury inside lasts much longer if you can't forgive straight away. People do things. Sometimes the driving power behind those things is their own lives being out of control. When you forgive, you allow them to look at life from a new perspective, and sometimes that's all they need. Show them the bigger picture rather than the small picture that makes you